Hey, how's everybody doing? I want to share something today that is pretty near to me and dear to me. I am going to share what I know as the plant based fitness method. Now, this is something that I created when I first started out as a trainer. I was ahead of the curve as far as plant based nutrition goes, and I was already into fitness and stuff like that. So basically, what I did was over the years, I've gotten a lot of people results, and so I finally decided to tell you guys my secret, what is my method, and how I do it. Um, so basically, how I got started was in about 2012. I moved back to California in 2010. um, then I worked at the YMCA for about maybe 3 or 4 years. I was a wellness coach there, and I got motivated to pursue personal training. And so this is roughly about 2014. And so what really prompted me to really go into health really strong was I seen a lot of people in my family, particularly some of my uncles that died before the age of 65. And my grandma on my mom's side died before the age of 65, and my grandma on my dad's side died before the age of 65. And this motivated me to start looking deeper into longevity and, just to figure out like how long, why is our life expectancy so short? And I personally transformed my health and wellness. So at a period of time, I was about 240 pounds or so. Actually, 260 was my weight, and I was about 45% body fat. I started making some changes in my life with my diet and exercise, and then I got to a point where I was about 193 at one point in time. So um, I've basically lost close to about 30% body fat, and so it kind of made me think like, wow, like the benefits of a plant-based diet and exercise together are not really thought about. So what I did, I started educating myself a little more. So about 2016, there was a course at the Matthew Kinney Culinary Institute, and it was called Sports Nutrition. So I took that. I got some really good results. And then about 2015, I took another course, which was Sports Nutrition Elite. And that kind of really opened my eyes to the power of a plant based diet and exercise. And so at that point in time, I was already working at a gym. I had got my first personal training job, and I had got one client, and my goal was to get that one client some results. So that's what I did. I set out on a journey to get this client some results, and I put all the knowledge and stuff of strength training that I had, as well as fitness together and nutrition, and it came out to some really good results. The person actually lost about 45 pounds, and so then I was like, okay, cool. Like, how do I get better results? So I got a couple people together, and I put them inside of a challenge, and I started seeing across the board that when I put these people on this regimen, they all were getting results. So probably like about 2018 or so, I had a period of time where I kind of was honing in that method. I perfected my plant based fitness method. And so what I did was I was like, okay, cool. I outgrew the space that I was in. And I was like, I need a bigger space to be able to really, really put this to the test. And so what I did was I purchased the InBody. And when I purchased that InBody, the InBody was something that I used to get me really good, accurate results. So the InBody is something that they kind of use in medical facilities and things like that. And so once I really realized that these people were getting these crazy results, and sometimes it was longer periods of time, sometimes it was shorter periods of time, but I was like, okay, it's time for me to get my own place. And then once I realized that this method really worked, I kind of really dove in more to sports nutrition, because I was like, okay, there's a science to this that most people don't know, and that I feel like I'm ahead of the curve. And I actually was ahead of the curve, because as you see right now, there are more and more athletes and people that are switching to a plant-based diet and also doing exercise too as well. So, What I did was I recently just got my master's in holistic sports nutrition. And, I've been on this journey of helping as many people as possible. And I think a lot of people don't really know what I do. So I think that's why I'm creating this, to let people know exactly what I do and the benefits of it and how it could benefit you. So you might be thinking, like, what is the plant-based fitness method? So the plant-based fitness method is a 5-step process, right? It involves 5 key elements, and the 5 key elements are set up that once you follow all these key elements, you will be able to receive maximum results. And I'm not talking about like losing weight and gaining weight, because I think that's what people are good at. People are really, really good at losing weight and gaining weight, but a lot of people are not really good at keeping it off. And that's one thing I can say about the method, is the method allows you to not just lose it, not just gain it, but to keep it off. And it starts off with your why. So in order for you to be able to be successful, you have to know why you're doing something. That's step number one, because one thing I've noticed out of all the people that I helped, the people that didn't have a strong enough why, they got the results and then they stopped. And so I was thinking, like, there's a mindset portion to this, and finding your why is the step one to that mindset. The next part is like the actual mindset portion. It talks about like your positive mental attitude, being able to visualize things, talking to yourself in a healthy way. You know what I mean? Like I hear sometimes people saying, "Oh, I can't do that," or "Oh, it's too tough for me," or they talk about all the ways where they can't do something, and you don't realize what that does to your mindset. And then also when it comes to mindset, if you try to change your body but you don't change your mind, then your body will revert back to your old mindset. Let me say that again. If you try to change your body but you don't change your mind, then your body will revert back to wherever your old mindset was. And that's important to know, because oftentimes we want our body to change, but we don't give our mind the proper tools to help that change. Fitness is another part. Now, I know everybody's thinking like, okay, yeah, what do you mean by fitness? Fitness just means I go into the gym and I exercise. It's not that simple. One of the things that I've found out is that, like, I did a lot of studying of like movement and exercise and different things like that. And I tried to figure out, like, I looked at all athletes and I figured out what are the athletes whose skills stick with them after they age, like when they get into to older age. And I started to pay attention to gymnasts. And I noticed that I read this book, it was called Gymnastic Bodies. And it was a guy, he had talked about how he was a gymnast and he went through every sport. And what he would be able to do is whenever he trained like a gymnast, he would be able to come through in the sport and compete with the top athletes. But then when he tried to train like them, his training actually, he started to lose certain things. And so I was like, wow, this is interesting. And so then I thought about it. I was like, okay, cool. I know a lot of percentage of my clients are women, and most women, their biggest fear is bulking up. Like most women don't want to bulk up. They don't want to get too bulky. They say things like, oh, my shoulders are getting too big and stuff like that. Now, not to say that there's not a need for weight training. However, when you're thinking about just longevity and something you could do for your life, body weight strength training is the key. Body weight strength training allows you to build lean muscle mass. And then it also, the thing about it is once you get to a certain level of strength, you actually hold on to that level of strength, which is pretty unique. So it's kind of like if you're lifting weights and if you stop bench pressing, you'll lose that. But if you keep doing push-ups, you don't lose that. So that's the fitness portion of it. And then the next phase is the plant-based nutrition. Now, one thing I know about when people are eating healthy, they usually feel like they don't have to work out. And when people are working out, they usually fall short on the eating healthy. And so plant-based nutrition is the center of the plant-based fitness method because it allows your body to transform And then if you think about it, what you're doing is you're actually building high quality tissues. So whatever you put into your body, they say you get new cells. Every year your body shall change into something new. And so you get new cells all the time. So if that's the case, if you're getting new cells all the time, then you want to give your body the highest quality of nutrients and vitamins and minerals into your body. So therefore, what it's building is actually quality material. Just think about that. So think about, it's just like it's like the difference between getting some plywood and getting some oak. The quality of that oak is going to last you way longer than the plywood. And so that's where, if you just have that visual in your mind, that's what I think about when I think about plant-based nutrition, right? And so the last piece is the biggest thing, which is what I do the best. And that's just, it's hold people accountable. So for me, I say it like this. If you want to get to your goal and you want to get there faster, you need to get with somebody that knows how to get you there, And one of the things too is just accountability. Everything that I've been successful at, everything that I've had where it comes to transforming my body, transforming my business, whatever it may be, I always had somebody to hold me accountable to what I said I wanted to do. And sometimes that accountability could be hard because you can't slip out. Like sometimes if you got friends that hold you accountable, it doesn't really work the same, because what could happen is the friend could be like, one day they could be like, you know what, I'm tired, I don't want to go. And then your accountability goes down the drain. So you need an expert coach to hold you accountable to what it is that you say you want to do. Now, let's get into some of the inner workings of the plant-based fitness method. And it's all based off of habits, right? And one of the things that I noticed first, so we talked about transforming your body, right? So step 0 is detoxification. And the reason why step 0 is detoxification, because we talked about getting rid of all of the old stuff. Think about all that old stuff that's in your body. Just think about if you've never done a detox before. Think about how many years and years and years of stuff you actually have built up in your body, built up toxins. And these things can actually be stopping you from getting to your goal, because what it does is it could actually be hindering your organs. It could be hindering your thyroid. It could be, making your storing toxins in your fat, and also all these things too. Your intestines could be blocked up with a lot of bad bacteria, so you could be having cravings, and these cravings get in the way of your transformation. So that's why step 0 is a detox. Then we go into what is known as the habit transformation. We start focusing on water. One of the things I've noticed over the 8 or so years of working with clients is that a hydrated client is a client that transforms the best. So what we do is we take your habits, we make you track your water, and then once you track your water and you show that you can hit your goal consistently, we move on to the next phase. The next phase after that is tracking your sleep. Now, sleep is very, very vital to your body transformation. A lot of people's results come when they start sleeping. The problem is that there's over 65% of Americans to this day that have sleep issues. So if you are looking to transform your body and you're not sleeping, let me tell you right now, that's going to be very, very difficult. Phase number 3 is exercise homework. So every time that I work with somebody, we have a contract. And the reason why we have that contract is to ensure that I'm going to do my part and you do your part. And a part of your contract is exercise homework. So a person comes to see me on average about 3 times a week, right? And so that means that I cover their strength training days. Because to be honest, you don't need to strength train, more than 3 times a week. 4 maybe max, but you don't want to get into overtraining, right? And so on the days where you're not strength training, depending on what your goal is, you got a maintenance phase and you got a fat loss phase, right? So now let's just say, and if you're trying to bulk up, there's different regimens for that, but we're going to just talk about the maintenance phase and the fat loss phase, right? So in the fat loss phase, you want to be exercising a minimum of 6 days a week. So what that equates to is that equates to 3 strength training days and then 3 cardiovascular days, right? And so that's a part of your exercise homework. We use high intensity interval training on those cardio days. So therefore, your body doesn't do any steady state cardio because you get the real benefits from high intensity interval training, right? And so if you are doing all of these things in a row, there's no way that your body cannot transform. No way possible. And then month number 4, we start to cover nutrition, right? Because once again, we're stacking things up. We're stacking up your foundation. These are all of the core things that you need in your foundation. Once you have that solid foundation, then results is just gonna come. And so the last part is like when you think of, oh, let me go back to that. When you think about the nutrition is knowing how to eat, is knowing what to eat, is knowing when to eat, and is knowing how much to eat. So that's a key element in nutrition. It's not just about a meal plan. Because what I could do is I could give you a meal plan and I could tell you to follow that meal plan. And then once you start going stagnant because you're not getting any more results, then what? So it's a little bit deeper than just a meal plan. You know what I mean? Like it's having the knowledge of knowing what to eat when you travel, knowing what to eat when you're out and about, knowing how to properly plan your meals, knowing how to structure your plate. So there's so many different things that go into this particular element. And then the last part is like, after you get all of those habits together, right? Those are the recipe for success. Then what you have to be able to do is you have to be able to have a routine. Now, your routine is going to be very, very important because your routine is what's going to lock all those things in. So you're going to need a solid morning routine. What does your morning routine consist of? And so that's what we do in the month 5. And what that does is that helps our clients continue results ongoing. You know what I mean? And so after you nail all of that, I promise you, I've seen it time and time again, like nothing but results, nothing but results. So these are some of the people that we've been able to help. And these are just the results. I have more photos in this. I didn't want to, put a whole bunch on here. But as you can see, people that make a long-term commitment, they usually have better results. And that's because this is a long-term commitment program. This is not a quick fix. A lot of people that have committed to themselves have gotten some really, really amazing results. And so this is what I want for you. But I do want you to know all about the plant-based fitness method and how it works. So that's pretty much the gist of it, right? And so one thing I want you to know is that this program is right for you if you're ready for a transformation. If you're willing to commit to yourself, because that's step number 1. Step number 1 is the commitment to yourself. You have to be willing to commit to yourself. I say it time and time again. If you want the results is going to come in the commitment. And you're not committing to me or anybody at Plant-Based Fitness. You're really just committing to yourself first. And once you make that commitment to yourself, everything always works out for you. Everything works to your advantage. So that's a key element of all of my clients that I've worked with, is that they've had these qualities. They were ready for a transformation, and then also they were willing to commit to themselves. So if you are interested in learning more about this plant-based fitness method and how it can help you to transform your life long term, because remember, we're thinking about longevity. If all you got to do is click the link below. I'm going to put the link below this. You click the link below. You could book a consultation. There is a charge for a consultation. It's $50. And then what we would do is we would meet. And then once we meet, we figure out your why. I run you through all these steps of this process. And then hopefully we could get you some amazing results. And it's not hopefully, we will get you some amazing results if you meet that qualification. So if you're ready and you're committed, go ahead and book a session with us right now. And I look forward to seeing you on the other side. Peace.